All right, in Washington, first it was the battle over health care. Now it's the fight for tax reform, with both Republicans and Democrats clearly marking their sides. So can the two parties work together to get something done, and can they do two things at the same time? Joining us now, Kristin Tate, contributor to The Hill and author of Government Gone Wild. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so this battle over health care, it's been, quite frankly, ugly, with Republicans and Democrats on opposite sides. Yesterday, Democrats did something. They laid out their requirements for working with the Republicans on getting tax reform. So take a look here at what they want. Democrats say no tax cuts for the top 1%. Republicans cannot use reconciliation. You can't have deficit-financed tax cuts given the gap between the parties on fiscal policy. So do you think Republicans and Democrats can actually work together on tax reform, or is this going to be health care part 2?
Well, let's look at what happened with health care. Republicans have the House, the Senate, and the White House. This was their opportunity to get Obamacare repealed and replaced, which is why these people got voted in, and they blew it. So now it's more critical than ever that they get tax reform done so that they have at least one success to run on in 2018. Mitch McConnell has made it very clear that he wants to move forward with this process through the 51 vote procedure. But given that the GOP could not get health care done on its own, there are others who are saying they're going to have to work with Democrats on tax reform.
Okay. Well, you know, there were 3 Senate Democrats who signed a letter that went to the president yesterday with their demands for working together on tax reform. Those who didn't sign it, you're looking at the screen, Joe Manchin, Heidi Heitkamp, Joe Donnelly, all of them in states that voted for Donald Trump. Are they going to work with Republicans?
It's possible. I mean, look, of course it would be great to have tax reform negotiated in a bipartisan way, but it's going to be really difficult to find agreement in certain areas. The Ways and Means chairman has already pushed back on that one demand from the Democrats on not lowering taxes on the top 1%. He reminded Democrats that Republicans want to lower taxes at all levels, and it's also important to remember that the rich will probably end up paying more anyways because they're going to lose a lot of their deductions. So it's going to be tricky. There are a few Democrats that are more likely to work with the Republicans, but we'll see what happens. Both parties have a few months to kind of mull this over, but the important thing is that no matter how they get it done, Republicans need to get it done. If they don't, it's going to hurt the party, not just in 2018, but for years to come, I think.
And when you hear Republicans talk about tax reform, you hear them talk about growing the economy, getting to that magic 3% GDP number. You don't hear about growing the economy when you hear from the Democratic side.
Right. Yeah, unfortunately, the Democrats have really been the party of obstruction. They've offered little in the way of solutions, and they've made it clear, a lot of them at least have made it clear, that they really don't want to work with Republicans for the betterment of the American people. So that's a shame. But again, if this doesn't get done, it's going to be the Republicans that hurt.
Good to see you. Thank you, Kristin.
Thank you.